My name is Clint, and this is Ashtanga Yoga. The last couple of weeks, I showed a couple of different things. One was how to make the transition from down dog into the warrior ones during the sun salutation Bs, the namaskar Bs. And then last week, I went through my warm-up and suggested that you find something that's good for you. Today, what I'd like to do is just go through a short part of the typical vinyasa and focusing on the chatturanga. So to get there, I'm just going to come up and then step back into plank. And in plank, you want to have your shoulders back and down. You want your chest to be falling between your shoulders. And then the way you lower down is you come forward, and maybe you can hover right above the ground, or maybe you want to come all the way down. But curl your toenails under, so your toenails are down. And then you can lift up by pushing against the mat with your hands into cobra, or you're up on, not on your toes. I have to do this from this position. I roll over my toes. And then this is up dog, where your knees are up off the floor. But your shoulder blades are down, and you're giving a back bend. And then you just rise back up, rolling over your toes into downward facing dog. So that's a good thing to start your warm-up with, because that will get your shoulders working. It gets some synovial fluid in, which reduces friction. And with my shoulders, I have to do that, because the first few times I do a plank or an up dog, it's really challenging. So, to start, everybody come to the top of your mat, get your feet into Dasana, which is hip width apart, second toe facing straight ahead. Inhale your shoulders up towards your ears, and then you roll your shoulder blades down towards your waist and back. Allow your eyes to close if that's within your practice. And then from here, begin to draw your legs together, your feet isometrically toward each other, firing up your leg muscles. And then rotate your inner thighs towards the back of your room, and then tuck your tailbone under. That will straighten out your spine. Then take the crown of your head, which is the back top of your head, and reach up towards the ceiling. That will draw your chin in a little bit. And from here, you can begin to relax those muscles for a moment and concentrate on your bandhas. Now, starting with your mula bandha, that is your pelvic floor muscles, engage that. And you do that by just tightening up like you're trying to stop having to go to the bathroom. If you're at a stadium with 100,000 people and there are 3 Johns available. And then tighten your Uddiyana Bandha. That is a couple inches below your navel, so that your lower abdomen is very tight, and draw that in towards your spine. Now, the Mula Bandha is really engaged more when you're exhaling, and the Uddiyana Bandha is really engaged as you're inhaling. That's restricting the movement of your organs. So from here, now begin to tighten up your glottis by maybe taking your tongue toward the back of your mouth and closing off partially your throat so that your breath can be heard. You'll sound like Darth Vader. And you can probably feel already that you're building heat. And on your next inhale, open your eyes and inhale your arms up overhead. And then just bring them back down by your sides. Inhale up overhead. And bring them back down by your side. One more time. Inhale, arms up overhead. Bring them back down by your side. This time, arms up overhead. Grab onto that left wrist with your right hand and push that left wrist up towards the ceiling. And as you do that, bring your weight into your left foot and take the weight off your right foot. And you'll find that you'll probably bend a little bit to the right. Breathe into your torso. Breathe into your side body, both sides. You're lengthening your spine here, creating more space for your lungs. And then on an inhale, come back up, change hands, reach that right arm up towards the ceiling and push it away with the left. Weights in your right foot, and then slightly bend to the left. Next inhale, come back up. Other side, not quite so long. Side bend to the right. Maybe bend that right knee a lot. And come all the way up. And other side, bending that left knee a lot. Maybe next week I'll add tree to this. Inhale, come back up. And then bring your arms down by your side. And then your palms to heart center in Samastitihi. From here, I'm going to do a couple forward folds. But to get there, you're going to go through child. So on an inhale, drop your seat and raise your arms into chair. Setting your chair up, just look down to make sure that you can see your big toes over the front of your knees. And if you can't, just move your glutes backward. And then on an exhale, straighten your legs and forward fold. Stay here for a moment. If your legs are still stiff, then bend them a lot. And then straighten them out. And then on your next inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. And then on your next inhale, bend your knees slightly. And then use your legs to rise all the way up into standing. And then hands to Samastitihi. Do that one more time. So on an inhale, drop your seat, raise your arms into chair. Exhale, forward fold over straight legs. Inhale, come up halfway, so your back is parallel to the floor. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up using your legs. Coming into Samastitihi. Okay, so today We're going to start with the Namaskaras. We'll start with 3 A's and see where we go from there. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Come down halfway. Inhale to up dog. And exhale, lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Walk out your dog. Let your chest fall between your shoulders. Over. And 5. Look between your hands. Hop, step, or jump into forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. And the hands to Samastitihi. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Come down halfway. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Engage your Uddiyana Bandha and step into the pole, step into forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. And hands to Samastiti. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Come down halfway. Inhale, cobra up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Well, next we have Namaskara B, which has a right and a left, warrior 1. So look between your hands, hop, step, or jump to the front. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Gaze at your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. And then hands to Samastitihi. We start and end Namaskara B's with chair. So on an inhale, drop your seat, raise your hands into chair. Exhale, forward fold over straight legs. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to down dog. Look between your hands. Turn that right foot out. Left foot out, sorry. Step the right forward. Inhale up to warrior 1. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back. Lower down halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, lift your hips up and back into down dog. Turn your right foot out. Step your left forward. Rise up to warrior 1. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Down halfway. Inhale, up dog. And lift your hips to downward facing dog. You can take a rest at any time. Five, between your hands, hop, step, or jump up. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, drop your seat. Raise your arms to chair. And then raise all the way up. And hands to Samastitihi. Have another Namaskara B. Inhale your arms overhead. Drop your seat. Mess that up a little bit, but that's okay. Then on an exhale, forward fold over straight legs. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Lower down halfway. Inhale up dog. Exhale, lift your hips up and back to down dog. Move that left foot out. Step forward with the right. Inhale to warrior one. Exhale, hands down. Step back to plank. Down halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Turn your right foot out. Step forward with the left. Inhale, up to warrior one. Exhale, hands down. Step back to plank. Lower down halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale. Rest here for 5 breaths and down dog. Then look between your hands. Hop, step, or jump into forward fold. Inhale, drop your seat, raise your arms, and rise all the way up. And hands to Samastiti. Step that out a bit. The next two poses are are Padahastasana and Padahastasana. So inhale your arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. And exhale, forward fold again, grabbing your big toes. Now grab with your peace fingers and really pull down by bending your knees. By bending your elbows. Straightness your knees. 4, 5. Your next exhale, release. And come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And hands to Samastiti. This is Padahastasana with your palms underneath your soles. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Place your back of your hand on the mat so your palms are vertical. And step your toes and your instep onto your hands. Inhale, lengthen your spine, coming up halfway. And exhale, forward fold. But keep the tension in your shoulders, in your arms, and your wrists. 3, 4, 5. Next exhale, release. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hands to Samastiti. Now we have a vinyasa. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Come down halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And this is where the dogs begin to become a friend. 4, look between your hands, hop, step, or jump forward. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hands to Samastiti. From here, take your left foot, take a giant step towards the back of your mat. Your legs are both straight. Your hips are square to the side of the mat. Bring your arms out into T. Now turn your head towards the front, coming into triangle. So dip that front hip, raise that back hip, and then tip your triangle. The right hand comes down to wherever it needs to. Doesn't have to be the toe. Your gaze can be up at your left hand or down at your right. 5. Inhale, come back up. Rotate your feet to the other side. Dip that front hip, raise the back, and then tip your triangle with your left hand coming down towards the mat. Your right arm up towards the ceiling. If you have a shoulder issue, you can always leave that hand, right hand on your hip. On your next inhale, come back up. Rotate your feet again. This time, adjust your feet. Move your foot a little to the right and bring your left foot in, maybe a foot or two. Bring your arms into T, facing the front of the mat, and then rotate your torso to the right. So your left hand is forward. And then on an exhale, bring that left hand down, coming into revolved triangle. Five, inhale, come back up. Arms out to T, rotate your feet. Now you'll have to adjust your feet quite a bit. And then rotate your right hand to the front of the mat. And exhale, lower that right hand down, maybe on the outside of that left foot. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, come back up. Rotate your feet towards the front. Step forward into Samasthiti. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Down halfway. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. 2, 3, 4, 5. Look between your hands. Step or jump to forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hands to Samasthiti. This time, take your left foot, giant step to the back. Your foot should be off towards the left side, 90 degree. Bend that front knee and bring your arms up into warrior 2. And from here is side angle. So on an exhale, lower that right hand, maybe down on the floor next to on the inside of that right foot. Maybe you just bend the elbow, put your forearm onto your thigh. 4, 5. Inhale, come back up. Rotate your feet. And then bend that front knee and side angle on the left side. Take that hand down to the mat or on your thigh. 4, 5. Inhale back up. Rotate your feet. Shorten the distance between your feet. Bring your arms out into T. Bend that front knee. And then rotate that left arm in front. And on an exhale, come into revolved side angle. So here you're trying to bring that left hand to the right side of your right foot. Your right arm is up. Your gaze is down or up towards your right hand. 5, inhale, rise back up. Rotate your feet and adjust. Bend the front knee. Rotate your arms. So your right arm is out in front. And then on an exhale, come into side angle. Your right hand coming down. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, come back up. Rotate your feet. Step forward into Samastitihi. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Come down halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Looking between your hands, hop, step, or jump to forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hands to Samastitihi. This time, going into Prasarita. So from here, take a giant step with your left foot towards the back of the mat. Get both toes pointed towards the side. And we'll do A, B, C, and D, like we've been doing. To start, inhale your spine tall, crown of your head up, hands on your hips. And then on an exhale, come down halfway so that your chest is parallel to the floor. And pause here for a moment. And then on an exhale, lower your hands to the mat. Maybe your fingers can come parallel between your feet. And then exhale, bring the crown of your head down towards the mat. That may be nothing more than a dream, but toward the mat is just a direction. 4, 5, listen carefully. Bring your hands to your hips. Then inhale, come up halfway. Take a breath. And then inhale, come all the way up. Your hands are already on your hips. So walk your hands towards the back of your hips, like you're trying to draw your elbows together. And if you can get your elbows together, that's great. If not, you join the rest of the world. Inhale your spine up, and then exhale, forward fold, being really careful not to face plant. Continue to try to drag your elbows toward each other. Five. On your next inhale, come all the way up. This time, bring your arms out into T, and then bring your hands behind your back and interlace your fingers. Draw your hands down. That will draw your chest high, your crown of your head up, and then try to push your palms away from your hips. Inhale, and on an exhale, forward fold. On the next inhale, come up all the way, using your hands to pull you up. Release your hands, bring your hands out into T. And then on an exhale, forward fold again. And as your hands come down, let them rest on your legs. Maybe you can reach out and grab onto your big toes with your peace fingers. Again, the crown of your head is trying to get towards the floor. This is opening up your groins. 5, on your next inhale, come up halfway. Bring your hands to your hips. And inhale, rise all the way up. Either heel toe your feet together or just hopping together. Turn towards the front, step forward, hands to Samasthiti. Inhale, your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Come down halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Looking between your hands, hop, step, or jump. Forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands to Samasthiti. The next poses are the ones that they're Alyutita Hasta Padagustasana, which is hand to toe. And you can use a strap if you wish. Should have told you that earlier. But from here, maybe just bring your knee up, grab onto your right toe, big toe with your right peace fingers, and lift your foot forward for 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you can bring it in, but really you want to go out to the right. So just don't look at my leg. Now to the right. 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back to center. And this time, bring both hands to your hips. Lift that right leg up and out in front of you as high as you can go, pushing your heel away, straighten your spine. And release. Step that out. This is where I love to say it's a good thing that you're not an insect. You'd have to do this 5 more times. So from here, bend your knee, left knee, grab your left big toe, and reach that leg out in front of you and straighten-ish it. Try to straighten your spine. Five, and maybe take that leg out to the left. 5, come back to center. You can put that leg down for a moment. Inhale, exhale, and then lift that left foot up, pushing the heel away towards the front of the room. Lift that as high as you can. 4, 5. Release. Come back to the center of your mat, or the top of your mat. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Lower down halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Look between your hands, hop, step, or jump. Come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands to Samasthiti. So we're going to do the two poses. The first is a waterfall pose. So take your left foot back, maybe a couple of feet, but both heels should be on the mat, both legs straight. Look before you. If you can make a namaste with your palms behind your back, you can do that. Otherwise, just bring your hands behind your back, maybe grab elbows or wrists. Inhale, spine tall. And then on an exhale, forward fold over that front leg. Inhale, come back up. Rotate your feet. Adjust if you have to for this side. Inhale your spine tall. And then on an exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come back up. Rotate your feet to the front. Step forward. Okay, release your arms. This time, it's a balancing pose with a bent leg. And so you can do this as tree. You can try to bring your right heel into your left hip crease and hold it there. You can reach around your back and hold onto that foot with your right hand behind your back. But from here, straighten your spine. And if you want to do tree is great. Forward fold. You don't have to forward fold if you're in tree. I'm using a block for my hands. This is a hip opener. On an inhale, come back up. Release that leg. And see if the other leg is any different. On an inhale, bring that left heel up, either to tree or to your hip crease. Inhale tall, once you have your balance, and then forward fold. Make sure that left knee has no sensation. Make sure that right foot is flexed. 5. Inhale, come back up. Foot down, step that out. Step to the front of the mat. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back, plank. Lower down halfway. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Enjoy this dog because this is the last one. And 5. From here, you can jump your feet between your hands, or you can just come down to a seated position. Make sure you have 2 blocks available if you need those for the bumps, the bump ups. But start it in Dandasana. That's with your legs straight, your feet flexed, toes pointed towards the ceiling, hands flat on the mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine, touch your chin. Then on your next inhale, bring your arms out and up. And exhale, forward fold. Bringing your hands down towards your toes. If you can reach your toes, you can grab on. If you can only reach your ankles or your knees, grab on there. And then draw your collarbones towards your toes. You're stretching your spine. You're stretching your hamstrings. And then release. Come back up to center. This time, inhale your arms out again and up. And then forward fold again. And this time, reach for the bottoms of your feet or the sides of your feet. Maybe you can make a bind across the bottoms. But really feel this pose, stretching your torso, both on your spine and on your sides, your rhomboids. Those are the muscles going from your shoulders down to your lower spine. Then on your next inhale, come back up. Bend your knees, cross your feet, keeping your knees high. Bring your blocks in close to your hips, and then push down into the blocks and bump up, trying to lift your legs up off of the mat and then down. Might not come, but you're making progress. From here, take your legs out to the front, bring your hands behind the mat, bend your knees, bring the footprints to the mat, tuck your tailbone under, and inhale, lift up into reverse table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release back down. Cross your legs, lifting your knees high. And then do another bump. Come down. Okay, this time, take your left leg out to the front of the mat. Bend your right knee, bringing your right foot to the inner thigh of your left leg. Inhale your spine tall, and then forward fold over that left leg, reaching for your left toes in Janusirsasana. And this is another hamstring opener. This is working on the outside of your leg. 4, 5. Inhale, come back up. And then exhale, come back down again. This time, reach for your foot. If you can bind it on the bottom, that's good. Draw your collarbones towards that left foot. Notice where your right knee is. Is that right knee pushing down a lot? Or is it trying to raise up? 5. Inhale, release. Come back up. Straighten out your right leg. Bend your left. Inhale your spine tall. And exhale. Forward fold over that right leg. Trying to grab your right toes. Drawing your collarbones forward. Getting your head down is not the object. Lengthening your spine is what you want to do. 4, 5. Inhale, sit back up. Then exhale, forward fold again. This time grabbing the outside of that leg, or outside of the foot. Feel the pull on the outsides of your shoulders. And 5, release, bend your knees, feet in close, knees high, and then bump up and down. Okay, Marichi. So for Marichi, start with both legs out in front, and then bend your right knee, with your right foot on the inside of that right thigh. Inhale your spine tall. And then forward fold, trying to get your chest inside that right knee. You might want to use the hand holding on to your ankle. This is just a way to increase the amount of flexion in your right hip. 4, 5. Inhale, come back up. This time, grab that knee with your left hand. Bring your right hand behind your spine. Lift your spine up so that you're vertical in all directions. Inhale and exhale, twist to the right for 5 breaths. 4, 5. Exhale, release, right leg forward, left leg bent, foot on the mat. Inhale, and then try again to forward fold on the inside of that left knee. 4, 5. Inhale, come back up. This time, grab that left knee with your right hand. Left hand comes behind. And then exhale, twist to the left. On your next inhale, come back to center. Bend both knees, bring your knees high, your feet in close to your sit bones, and bump up and down. From here, come all the way over onto your belly. And to begin here, bring your palms to the floor. And bring your toenails to the floor, forehead down. Then on an inhale, lift your chest and lift your legs. And down, relax. Okay, this time bring your hands next to your chest. And then from here, inhale, lift your chest, lift your legs up. And relax. The last pose is bow. So if this is within your practice, bend your knees, grab your ankles. You can use a strap if you wish. And then on an inhale, lift your chest, lift your knees. 4, 5, and release. From here, bring your hands to the mat next to your chest, push up, come back through table, and come back into a seated position. Bend your knees, bring your heels in close, your blocks close by. Inhale, lift, and then lower back down. Coming to the end here, let's do Baddha Konasana. So it's butterfly. Bring the soles of your feet together, rather close to your groins. Inhale your spine up. Then on an exhale, forward fold. You can grab onto your feet and pull. Be aware of your groins. Don't aggravate them. Straighten your spine. So if you're not coming all the way over, don't try to round. 5. Inhale, come up. This time move your feet so that you have roughly a square between your thighs and your ankles. Inhale your spine, and then forward fold, drawing your collarbones towards the front of the room. You can grab onto your feet again. And start breathing. Your gaze here should be down at your feet, or maybe behind your feet, depending how far forward your legs are. And release. Come back up. Do a couple boats. So, let's get into the next bump. So bend your knees, your heels next to your sit bones, and bump up. For both, bend your knees with your footprints on the mat. Your feet are about hip width apart. It's whatever works with you. To find a good starting point, maybe you want to just grab onto the backs of your thighs and lean back and get a straight spine. This is a great way to start because you know that your spine is straight. And then on an inhale, raise your ankles parallel to the floor. Maybe you keep holding on, maybe you release. 4, 5, come back down. And then on your next inhale, lift your feet up again. Maybe you want to straighten your legs, lengthen your arms, but keep your spine straight. 5, and release. One more. And on your next inhale, lift your legs, lift your arms. Maybe you can get your legs higher. If you want another degree of difficulty, raise your arms higher. And release. Bend your knees, bring your feet towards your sit bones. One more bump. Lift up and release. Coming into the closing poses here. If you think you want to go into lotus pose, you can try that. Just be very aware that your knees are not supposed to have any kind of sensation. You can bring that right heel to your left hip crease. And maybe the other leg comes up. So your right heel comes to your left heel comes to your right hip crease. Inhale your spine tall. And for here, bring your arms out wide. And then maybe you can bring your palms together behind your back, either facing up or down, or maybe not. I can't do that. My shoulders aren't flexible enough. So I'm just grabbing opposite wrists. Inhale your spine tall. And then on an exhale, forward fold. On your next inhale, come back up. And then this next pose is just preparing for the last. Bring your You bring your thumb and your forefingers together, straighten your arms, and let your arms, the backs of your hands, rest on your knees or your legs. We'll be here for 10 breaths. Your breath is slowed down by now. One more breath. Open your eyes. And then one more bump if you want. And if your legs are in lotus, your balance will be much better. But just try to give yourself another bump. And then release your legs. Bring your legs to the front of the mat. Come down onto your elbows and all the way down onto your back. And from here, stretch your heels away and your palms away and feel your calves being pushed into the mat. The small of your back is raised up. And then point your toenails and your fingernails away and really push those arms and feet farther apart. And you'll feel your calves off the floor. The small of your back is engaged. And then release your arms back down by your body. Coming into Shavasana, if you want to give yourself another squeeze with your knees into your chest, you're welcome to do that. And then release your legs to the front corners of the mat. Bring your arms out to the side. Maybe you want to walk your elbows or your shoulder blades underneath your chest. Let your feet go. Take a deep cleansing breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Take a deep cleansing breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. And take rest.
When it's the water down.
Begin to deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back into your space. Bring movement to your fingers and to your toes, to your wrists and to your ankles. Gently roll your head from left to right. And when you're ready, bend your knees, walk your feet up towards your sit bones. Draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze and a rock. Or make circles with your knees in one direction and then the other. And then come all the way over onto your right side and pause there using your right arm as a pillow. And then using the strength in your left hand, push the floor away and rise up to a seated position. Thank you for sharing your practice with me this afternoon. I am absolutely ecstatic that each of you are practicing Ashtanga with me, promoting your own health, your breath, which is extra important in these COVID times, through the practice of yoga. Take the peace and compassion and love that you practice on your mat with you wherever you go, and share it with your family, your friends, and those you may meet. Namaste.
Namaste.
My name is Clint, and this has been Ashtanga. Have a great day.